So, I'm not sure if I'm currently asleep and in an extended state of slumber, having one of the craziest dreams of my life right now, but Xbow got buffed. Yes, you heard that right. No, this is not an April Fool's joke. It's currently April 2nd as of the time that I'm recording this. And if we take a look at the card stats, Xbow currently deals 63 damage per bolt, which is a 3 increase from the 60 it used to deal per bolt, effectively becoming a 5% damage buff from before. No, I'm not making this up. This is all real and genuine, and I believe this is one of the craziest plot twists any of us could have ever experienced, and none of us could have expected or anticipated in 2025 or in Clash Royale history, to be honest. So I'm just going to take a King Tower activation on this bowler right now, and we should be pretty much set for the rest of the match. Now, I'm not trying to take sole credit for this change, nor am I saying that I am the direct cause of this, but I am the one who flagged this to Donald in our internal creator chat, and as a super creator, I've recently been promoted in the program. I have a bigger say in the state of the game and just try and give my balanced opinions and feedback whenever possible. Of course, this all comes after some devastating news where Xbow got nerfed, the hit points got decreased, and the damage got decreased to the point where it was now 3-shotting skeletons. All sorts of interactions were thrown into a weird balance and just a crazy state after Xbow has already been weak for so long, and I know all of you were devastated. I made a video and there was some insane pushback on Supercell for nerfing our beloved card with so much on the line. But yes, I did bring this up, and of course I can't leak internal chats or anything like that, but I'll show you on the screen right now kind of an example or a visualization of the chat that I had with Donald and just discussing what was changed, and he actually listened. He actually said, these changes were part of a bigger set of changes coming to Clash Royale where different cards are intended to scale with different levels, different rarities might have different effects on each other, and they just tried to make everything consistent. Of course, this came with a bunch of side effects where cards such as Xbow had their stats changed and a bunch of interactions were now different, but we have rectified the issue. Justice has been served, and again, I genuinely cannot believe I'm saying the words, but ladies and gentlemen, Xbow got buffed. So this is genuinely huge for the card. Now, I know we also got a 5 HP nerf, which I think is about a 2 or 3% HP nerf in a vacuum, but I believe the damage is much more impactful because that Xbow is so hard to break through with. It's basically impossible to break through against big tanks, against any kind of distraction plus spells. It's one of the worst cards in the game in terms of win con. I would say bottom 3, honestly. And it's solely been held up by the merits of other cards such as Evo Archers, Evo Tesla, Rocket, Cannon, Little Prince, all sorts of other support cards. Xbow itself has never been that good until now, where I believe it actually has a chance to shine and just might be back in the meta. I genuinely have a lot of hope, and I'm so excited to bring this news to you guys. Again, I'm not trying to take full credit, but I am the one who brought it up to Donald, and I'm so happy that he actually listened, and he told me initially that, he's not sure when this will be changed, but of course he didn't intend for interactions to break, so he did want to get this changed, and we have Xbow buffed. So in today's video, I'm just going to be exploring the Xbow buff, playing some games with it on higher ladder, and just celebrating with you guys this insane news. I genuinely cannot believe it. We won. We got exactly what we wanted. We finally got justice for a card after years of being below mediocre. I just am so happy to see some justice finally being served for the Xbow, but I genuinely do believe that this should be quite a noticeable change, because not only does it mean Xbow Lock's going to be more punishing now, but it's also just going to be better at taking out troops, and so objectively, this just means Xbow will be a better card. I know the damage got nerfed, or the hit HP got nerfed. It's going to be a bit worse, but I still believe that overall this is a net buff, and this is really huge for our card, and I'm just so excited and happy to see this in practice. Again, I'm practicing on ladder right now, just experimenting with some different things, and we just beat E-Giant Lightning very easily. So again, I feel Xbow Locks will be more rewarding. I think generally this is just going to be really nice, and I'm really excited to take this for a spin. So yeah, really happy to share this news with you guys, and I'm so excited for the ladder push today. Let's go, man. Alright, so we got a game against AKT Hoster, and honestly, this might be one of the biggest roller coasters we've ever seen in Xbow community history, because it's been a solid, I want to say 5 years since Xbow got any kind of changes. I want to say 4.5, I think it was December 2020 when Xbow last got changed, and that was a rework, which is objectively just a nerf, you know, decreasing the lifetime of Xbow and increasing the damage a bit, but also decreasing the hit speed. So overall, it's just a big DPS nerf, lifetime nerf, overall longevity on the map nerf, and just a huge negative change for the cards. So I think that us actually getting some kind of change is huge, because I really didn't expect us to. You know, I went to Superfest, I went to CRL World Finals last year, and I actually got to interview Donald. That's where I met him, the main game balancer of Clash, and it was just a crazy discussion. And I talked about Xbow, of course, you know, would we ever get a buff? Would we ever see what happens? And he said that he's kind of opposed to just having sort of direct stat buffs to cards. He wants to kind of buff cards on stats that they're kind of known for, you know, for example, Xbow, I guess a more Xbow-centric stat, rather than maybe buffing just the damage or the hit points or anything like that. I guess just basic stats that every card has. So he honestly said it's very complicated, and we probably would not be seeing anything anytime soon, because of course, you know, the community also hates Xbow. But I mean, we won. We finally won. Speaking of winning, this is Giant Lightning, a legit 100-0 matchup, and we are about to beat him too. Just really good single elixir manipulation right now. Not going to punish that Giant at the back. I think I just kind of need to chill, and it's probably still going to be a 5-minute game. I'm going to have to defend till the rest of the duration of this match, but having that kind of early lead is absolutely huge. And yeah, I mean, it just feels like Xbow connections are more rewarding now. I'm sure as I play more, I'll find more little niche interactions or different things that changed. I'm quite sure actually that there is a list of interactions that have changed with this buff. I'll pop it up on the screen right now. Credits to Spectre, someone who is in my Discord server, who posted this. So there's genuinely quite a few interaction changes, as you can see on the screen right now. And overall, again, this is just quite a big buff. It's great news for 3.0 Xbow, for Icebow, for Pumpbow, just the archetype as a whole. And I don't think it's single-handedly going to revive it or make it meta. I mean, as it stands, people were only playing Xbow if they were one-tricks and really good at the deck. But at the same time, it's just going to be good news for all of us who have been dedicated and committed to the card for so long, you know? So yeah, I'm really happy to see this, and I think that Xbow locks will be more fulfilling. Xbow will be able to take stuff out on offense in general more easily, which means it will be a better offensive card. Because honestly, in terms of design, right, the biggest issue Xbow always had was that it was a little bit too weak on offense. You know, it would just be taken out by any kind of tank, giant, electro giant, golem, to name a few, any kind of spell combination, fireball log, poison log, lightning, barb barrel arrows, even minor directly on the Xbow, any direct damage basically, just huge punishes would be incurred as the Xbow player for just playing your win condition. In many matchups, it's just not even worth it to play your win condition, you know, unless you're just a better player and you can punish people for having a bad card cycle or being low on elixir. For example, right now my opponent goes for a giant when he's low on elixir, going to go for the bow in the left and just keep up this pressure, and he actually goes lumberjack late, and I actually cannot believe he just lost this matchup that badly. Does go for the zaps, you know, it's not over yet, but this guy genuinely got destroyed. He's playing giant lightning triple spells. Like, is this a real game right now? I don't know, but I mean, I'm really happy, you know. I'm already having fun pushing with Xbow. I've learned a whole new archetype, a Royal Hog's Earthquake, because Xbow was so weak, but it just feels like we are so back, and it's finally time for us to shine again. So I think that's going to be pretty beneficial overall. You know, I can just go for my double fireballs to take this out, and I think that should just be game. So, you know, beating E-Giant Lightning with ease, destroying Giant Lightning triple spells does have to feel good, and does make me feel pretty happy about these changes. I think that overall this is, again, a huge, massive buff for Xbow, and it's going to be great for all of you guys. Alright, so we got the next match against Hooligan, and in terms of the community's reaction, I've seen a lot of people upset. I genuinely do not understand, you know, for any of you guys who are watching this right now, who are actually upset about Xbow getting buffed, let me ask you, when was the last time that you lost to Xbow because you got outplayed, versus Xbow beating you because it's overpowered? I don't think anyone can say, you know, maybe like 90% of people just got outplayed by the Xbow player or got an impossible matchup, but in that case it's still not really an issue of the card itself. All decks in this game have matchup, and it's always going to be something that plagues Clash Royale, where it's a little bit rock, paper, scissors, you know? So I don't think that Xbow is an overpowered card by any means, so why are you upset about Xbow getting a deserved buff when it's been weak and in the gutter for years with only, I want to say, a handful of good metas. You know, Evo Archer's meta, yes, that was good for Xbow. Evo Tesla meta, yes, it was good for Xbow as well. Otherwise, I don't think we've ever had a really good meta basically ever. It's just been a very few lucky seasons, and otherwise we've been just left to struggle with every new card countering it, such as Goblinstein, you know, every new champion basically. Monk, Archer, Queen, Golden Knight, all three counter the Xbow. Skeleton King's the only one that doesn't. Then we had Little Prince that came out, and that also counters Xbow. Let's talk about new cards and new evolutions that came out. Evo Knight, yes, it's good in Xbow to use it right now, but it's also one of the best counters in the game to the Xbow. You know, in terms of champions, Goblinstein, huge counter to Xbow that just has basically no counterplay. Evo Bomber snipes your Xbow from across the bridge, gets onto the tower, and just gets you punished for existing. Evo P.E.K.K.A, Evo Mega Knight, two big tanks that counter the Xbow, and just, you know, I can keep going on. Evo Musketeer, not even a good evolution, but it can snipe Xbow from the opposite side of the map. Look at that right there, I just spoke it to life. Evo Musketeer snipes the bow. We still get a nice lock, but he basically doesn't even have to worry about the bow. It's gone just like that. If he actually tanked for it properly with any small troop like goblins, he would have been fine, but since he just kind of let it go, we do get a bit of a mini lock, and that's really nice, but it's honestly just such a weak card. I don't understand how anyone can complain about this being an undeserved change. I know there's always going to be people who hate on Xbow, and all of you guys, my students watching this who play Xbow Cycle, I know you guys get a lot of hate for playing Xbow, so do I, trust me. I mean, as a pretty big YouTube channel, medium size I guess, I get hate comments every single day. You know, all insults in the book I get for playing Xbow, but it's just part of the game. There's just going to be immature people that don't know how to play the game, that just get outplayed by someone playing a higher skill deck and just resort to personal insults to complain. But anyways, that is a big tangent. I guess a moral of the story, this was a very deserved buff. I think I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy to be a super creator in the Supercell Creator Program and have an actual influence on the game now to be able to report bugs like these, and I'm actually grateful that, you know, Supercell is listening and responding this fast. I would also like to say, if you guys are really happy about this change, you can use my creator code SK555 in any Supercell game to support me, you know, just if you want to show some appreciation when you buy your pass Royale for the Xbow buff, just something light, you know. But yeah, this is, wow, 666, that is a pretty blasphemous number, but this guy is playing Hog Rider Earthquake, and this is not even close. Hog EQ with Giant Skeleton, by the way, and he's also just kind of getting destroyed. I feel like this buff just kind of rejuvenated me mentally. I'm just feeling so good and so happy about this buff. He goes for an aggressive EQ. I can just kind of take his entire tower now because he wasted his Giant Skelly, he wasted his Earthquake. That's probably just going to be a good game, honestly. But yeah, I feel just rejuvenated. I feel alive again. Like Xbow, there's just hope for us again, you know, after so long. And I'm just so happy, man. And I'm so happy for all of you who struggled for so long, and now it all paid off because it was worth it. Alright, I'll play one more game, just because, you know, this is so fun. I didn't want to make this a whole video. I mean, I guess this ended up being more of a video, me ranting my thoughts on Xbow as a card, and its place in the meta, how weak it's been for so long. Kind of ended up being that kind of video, but I am still showcasing some great matchups. Giant Lightning, Hog EQ, E-Giant Lightning, and I'm just still, again, very grateful for the change, and I'm so happy that all of you guys who've been sticking to Xbow in spite of it being so hard and so bad for so long are finally going to get some positive results. I will say the HP nerf, I don't think they're going to change that. I mean, there's no reason to, you know, honestly, there's going to be some people, I got some people directly, like, insulting me saying, wow, SK, I can't believe you use your influence to get Xbow buff just because you like it. You are ridiculous. I saw someone say you are disgusting. It was so funny, man. That entire Twitter thread was hilarious. But at the end of the day, this was more of a bug fix than anything. You know, I talked to Donald. I showed virtualization of the conversation we had earlier because, again, I don't want to actually leak conversations or confidential information, but it's more of a bug fix than anything else. You know, genuinely, Xbow was not supposed to change any interactions where it doesn't one or two shot skeletons anymore. This was a deserved change, so if the fact that it ended up being rounded higher than lower, it's just the way the cookie crumbled. And, you know, in terms of other weak cards in the meta, I don't think that Xbow's the weakest. I think there is, you know, some other stuff. Three Musketeers, Spawners. Spawners are a whole different conversation, I guess. No one really wants to play against Spawners, and for a good reason. They were very toxic, but I think that I would not be opposed to these cards getting buffed, you know. I think I went Skellies too late. Yikes, okay. An amazing situation just turned pretty bad because of those skeletons, man, my bad. But I was just yapping about different cards. But yeah, I think weak cards that deserve to get buffed, I would not be opposed to them getting buffed, you know. It's not like I'm tunnel visioning Xbow. Of course, I'm very passionate about it, and I'll notice as soon as there's a change to it and make videos to inform you guys and everything, but doesn't mean I'm opposed to other cards in the meta also becoming viable. I would not be opposed to any of the cards I mentioned, even spawners being slightly buffed to be more viable after they've been so bad for a long time. It's just the way it is, you know. This thing was supposed to happen, this thing that standardizes levels and all of that, and it just happened, you know. So I think there's a bunch of other changes. I believe lightning does more damage now, which is just ridiculous. Like, whoever thought lightning needed more damage, right? But there's all sorts of other things. At the end of the day, it's just kind of bug fixes, like I said. So just kind of the way that this ended up working out. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good news for us Xbow players, and I'm really excited for just playing Xbow more. I've always stuck to Xbow when times were tough. I switched decks to give myself a bit more of a chance, but doesn't mean I ever gave up on Xbow. I still made content all the time, and I'm just excited to have it be even better for you guys now, where it's just going to be a better climate. You're going to get, every time we get a lock, it's going to be even better for us, you know. It's going to be more rewarding. Every time we try and break through, we'll just have that 5% bit of help. By the way, I'm probably going to clickbait. I'm going to say Xbow got buffed after 5 years. I know it's technically 4.5, but like 2020 to 2025, I'm saying 5 years, man. And no one's going to stop me. But yeah, we get a lock in the tower trade situation against Lava Lightning. I pretty much never lose to Lava, so pretty happy with that. But yeah, I just want to make a quick video showcasing the buff, and we had some great games that showed it off. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to newly buffed Xbow. Celebrate, get some champagne or apple cider, I don't know if you can't drink, and hope you guys enjoy this buff. Much love.